just destroyed the Spectre opening. So I feel like as time goes on, people get better at dealing with heroes that are considered like OP or whatever during the opener, because basically to me, whenever I consider a hero overpowered, it's when you can pick it in any situation and it's still going to perform, right? Like it's just that hero that you're not scared about what the enemy team picks, because this hero just always gets what it's going to get. And I feel like Spectre specifically is starting to fall a bit behind in that regard, because people are just better at understanding how the hero lanes and how it performs in a mid game. So Gyro and even TB are a bit different, because these heroes both have really strong and in both cases shorter timing. So one, you're just looking for meta, and then the other one, you just want your call down and stuff, and you can fight because your damage comes mostly from your spells. But Spectre, you can haunt, but if you don't already have items, your haunt's really not that scary. Like, you're coming into a fight and you're throwing a dagger and autoing a few times. It's not really, it's not the same effect as like a meta TB or a Gyro coming in with all of his spells up. That's a lot more threatening early on in the game. So moving on in the draft, looks like we got a Treant here from Unique. So that's a hero that's going to keep people in place. And that's really what you're looking for when you have this Gyro and Phoenix. You want that utility to make sure that they can't just run away from the egg.
Yep. Amazing potential counter against Centaur, and some setting up for really solid team fight on Unique. 3 heroes that synergize well with the Wombo combo style of Dota. What's the
I mean, that's what they have. Unique just have that, you know, call down, egg, overgrowth. Like, fighting into this 5-man squad is going to be pretty tough. And, you know, depending on what their last 2 picks are, obviously we're still looking at a mid, potentially another support, or even an offlane. It kind of depends on how they want to shuffle the tree and the Phoenix around. But Oracle, really nice defensive pick. There's nothing that really jumps the backline currently. So the Rubik and the Oracle are more or less non-threatened. Whenever they get to sit on the periphery of a fight, they're going to feel happy. As long as there's no like PA or Storm or whatever, which Storm is looking pretty nice for Unique right now.
Yeah. And the other nice thing about Oracle is it opens up some carries that are maybe a little more fragile in the lane, right? Like, sometimes I think of Oracle Spectre, sort of a replacement for the Warlock in a lot of ways. Oracle can sustain the weakest of carries.
Yeah, you can. You just have to be real careful about not sacking more than one lane, right? We saw the result of what that is yesterday when you lose 2 lanes. The game can kind of snowball on you real quick. So
very true.
The thing that makes Storm nice here is AM's already banned. There's no Doom. Even Necro and SF and Veno are all out, which are heroes that can be seen in the mid lane, and all kind of give Storm a hard time. The only downside to picking Storm here is that you're kind of all-inning on one type of damage. You know, because you already have the Gyro, you have to assume that's going to be a core. Storm's going to be your other core, and that's a lot of magic damage, which just makes BKB and Pipe really strong this game, if you're Cyberium. But if you're okay with that, and you just want the catch, then I still think that Storm is really nice. They do also have overall last pick, so it might get banned if they don't want to just like commit to it right now. Okay, so a team fight hero. That's going to be the 3 most likely. The Brew is really nice against Centaur, actually. And they're going to go with Troll Warlord on Cyberium. Obviously, very good egg hitter. Natural BKB purchaser, which will most likely just be mandatory this game. Like, if you don't buy a BKB this game as the 1, I don't know how you're going to hit anyone. You're either going to be rooted, you're going to get homing missile, you're going to get thrown up in the air by Brew Split, there's going to be Phoenix lasers. It's pretty spooky if you don't have Magic Immunity.
I have returned, Draskell. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on Unique that you have to worry about if you're a core hero without a BKB or some semblance of magic resist. And Cyberium are going to take out the Razor, obvious hard counter, to the Troll Warlord. Are they thinking that that's going to be... Okay, this is kind of peculiar, actually. So they ban Razor. It's obviously very good against teams that only have 1 physical damage dealer. Because you can just link the Troll and then, you know, who's hitting on Cyberium Seed, right? Like, who's dealing the damage. So from that perspective, it makes sense. But from the lanes, I'm not sure if they would be able to lane it like as well as they want. Like, Razor mid's not really a thing anymore. It just doesn't.
Is it? I've seen it banned a lot in this situation, where my assumption based on the ban is that they think it can go mid and it'll be a little scary. But
I mean, it can. Like, it definitely can go mid. It's just not one of those things where you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, we got a mid Razor. He can do his job from any lane in a situation like this. he doesn't necessarily need the mid lane to static link a troll, right? Like Cyberium don't have that much lockdown. They have lift, they have a stomp, and then Fortune's End or whatever. But yeah, I think that the troll might still have a bit of a hard time in the early game, but once he gets to his items, he will become the strongest hero on the map. Like that's just kind of the nature of his hero in this particular lineup for both teams.
I feel like I've seen troll recently, mostly with enablers like your Grimstroke type heroes, Empower, obviously with the Magnus. There's another one, Alacrity on the Invoker. So it looks like Team Unique has their head in a similar spot. I guess Oracle is an enabling hero for the troll, kind of in a different way, just by helping keep him alive. But
yeah, that's the main thing. Like the Oracle plus, I mean, I this is obviously a troll mechanic that's been around for a long time, but a lot of people forget you lifesteal a crap ton when you're ulted. So if you ult at low HP and you hit like 10 times when you have the Oracle ult on you, you're just going to full health. Like you're just healing 100%, and that is a really powerful mechanic to have, especially when you have that built-into spell on top of it. Right. So if you get rooted or whatever during the team fight, you get Fire Spirits, and the Oracle's on his game, he can just throw that Fortune's End on you when you're ulted, and you're gonna heal. So it is definitely a scary concept. But
okay,
Lina, the last pick from Team Unique, a little interesting. I mean, they do get to counter the matchup mid, which is definitely nice. Probably why they didn't go with some hero like Storm, because Storm into DP doesn't feel very good. It's a pretty bad matchup overall.
And Lina can play pretty fast too.
I mean, she can play fast. My concern is that Unique don't have really that good of reach until like Vanscore and BZZ get their Blink Daggers. What I mean by that is the Oracle, the Rubik, even the Death Prophet to some degree are going to be able to move around these fights almost as freely as they want, Like there's some area denial spells like the Overgrowth and the Egg and the Call Down, but they're not forced to commit, right? Like there's nothing saying, hey, you have to stay here until Blinks are out in the field from Unique. So there will be a point in time where they should be able to play relatively safe. On the flip side, I do kind of favor Unique's lanes. I think that Treant's a really strong laner. Brewmaster's a strong laner. Lina, obviously, it's a counter last pick to a Death Prophet mid.
It's also maybe interesting to note here that their Lornov, their stand-in in for Palantimos, I don't know that he's a 1-to-1 position stand-in, because Palantimos usually plays safe lane, right? And 19 is mid, and it looks like Lornov is going to be going mid here. So
yeah, based on the picks, that would make the most sense.
Yeah. So hopefully that little switcheroo doesn't throw him for a loop. I do not know this Norloff fella, so I don't know what to expect here. I don't know if he's a fair replacement for Palantimos or not.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, to a degree, this lane is not particularly difficult for Lina. Worst case scenario, both heroes are just going to kind of trade farm. You got that crazy 670 attack range on Lina. Pretty hard to deal with that. You have 5 base armor at level 1. The main thing about Lina and why she hasn't really gained a huge amount of popularity on tier 1 teams in mid is that she's just so easy to kill.
Yeah.
Like a stiff breeze just kills Lina.
Well,
and that's kind of the...
Also crazy reliant on Yule's Scepter. She feels like one of those heroes that like isn't really a hero until she has that item. And maybe that's part of what you're talking about. Like that's abusable. That's a window where you can definitely pick on her a little bit.
Yeah. The way she itemizes typically is for aggression, and like you mentioned, to give herself setup so that her combo can be used without fail, right? Like you're taking the human error aspect out of the LSA. That's the whole point of buying Yules, and obviously you get some mana regen and movement speed too. But yeah, there's some real big downsides to this hero mid. We'll see if Cyberium are able to exploit that. Like I said, I do kind of favor Unique's lanes, but overall, as a draft, I kind of like what Cyberium are doing a bit more.
Okay. Up top, we'll see Sam take a little pressure. A homing missile will connect. And that Oracle pick coming to light a little bit more with the end of the draft. Obviously, Oracle Death Prophet is a very classic combo. Some great synergy there with the False Promise and the Exorcism. So I like that Oracle pick even more now, knowing that they had a long-term game plan.
Yeah, it's definitely a really strong DP game, no doubt. And it's even nicer because you have the Centaur. Like, Cyberium's lineup seems very well thought out. There were a couple reactionary picks, like having the Oracle just immediately picked into the Treant. Normally, you would look at that and not really want that lane matchup. A lot of people would look at it and be like, ooh, I don't want to lane Oracle against Tree, which is true. But Cyberium managed to get away with not putting the Oracle in that lane, and instead they're going to have the Rubik. And he did start with boots, so he understands, this matchup might not be hugely favored for them, but they're going to get what they can. Try to buy Troll as much time as possible, and then get to that mid game where he can be strong.
And I think for Cyberium, isn't this the same offlane duo we saw yesterday, the Rubik Centaur?
Yeah, I think they opened with the heroes too.
Yeah.
Like first phase.
So this is like their combo. They really like the synergy that they've got with the telekinesis, hoof stomp, double edge. Certainly a lane that can pressure quite a bit. We see the Treant already being nice and aggressive here, using those Nature's Grasp brambles or barbs. The vines, that's what they are.
Yep, the vines.
Jeez, the vines.
Lucian bottom.
Whoa, that's a first blood. Okay, Lil Pub will bring him down. Jump to that one a bit late. That was an easy first blood.
Oracle's really strong at being able to secure kills in lane, especially once he gets to that level 3.
Oh, yeah.
You play Dazzle. You play Oracle too?
I play a little Oracle, enough to know how insane 180 damage on a 2.3 second cooldown is at level 3.
Yeah, it is definitely bonkers.
It's
You can even kill heroes like Panda, which is not something that you would normally say about a 5 in the safe lane.
Yeah. Now, Oracle's fun. Oracle's one of those supports that I like playing a lot more when I'm queuing with a buddy, when I know my position 1. Right? Solo queue Oracle, I will say I don't enjoy very much.
You don't have to beg him to go in. You're like, please God, I have my spells. Just go. I will use my spells on you.
I will save you. I swear. It's my only purpose in this game.
And then the one time you don't, they just they just don't trust you anymore. I played Wyvern a game, and I messed up Cold Embrace literally one time out of like 20 casts, and then the guy disabled help, and I couldn't Cold Embrace him for the rest of the game, and then we lost.
Wow. Yeah, it just takes one, as they say.
It takes one.
Mid lane, actually going in favor of DP right now. 11-5 compared to the 8-2 Lina. So Mastermind showing Lina what this counter pick's all about.
Yeah, this is a bad look for the Lina. You really don't want to be behind this early. And I mean, he's not just like a little behind. He's a lot behind. I'm starting to think that Mastermind is just ownage. Like, he's just really good at his lane. Because he's won, like, every single matchup he's played so far in the last 2 days.
Yeah, from the sample size we've got, he has looked pretty darn good.
Oh, top lane.
Oh. Rubik lives. So what you're saying is yesterday Dendi lost mid, not because Dendi made mistakes, but because Mastermind.
Oh, no. Dendi definitely screwed up that Queen game. He definitely messed up. No question.
I see. Damn.
I don't want to take anything away from Mastermind. I mean, he has played very well. Bottom, BZZ, probably going to go down here. They'll die. But yeah,
they killed the Panda with a level 3 Oracle, just like you said.
Yeah, you got to respect the damage. And it's not even just damage in this lane, it's also the utility. You get slow, you get root. Top lane, they're going to get 19 as well, probably. Might trade a kill.
Okay.
Ooh, he actually dies
Sam
first.
Yeah, not bad for the gyro.
I don't know what it is with our games, Iori, but it just seems to be battle everywhere, all the time. I mean, which I'm okay with.
Historically, that's been a bit of a hallmark of Tier 2 CIS Dota. Pretty battle heavy, so maybe not the most surprising thing, but I like it. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's always more enjoyable to watch a game where teams are willing to push the limits of their hero. Lucian's going to die here, bot 2.
Oh,
no.
Icarus died.
The stick saves him.
This troll is having a pretty solid lane, though. Not much slowing down Lil Pleb. Curious what the item build will be for Troll. Always in the back of my mind, is it a Battle Fury game or not? I'm thinking probably not, based on the tempo they'll want to play with this lineup.
It actually could be a Battle Fury game, just because they do have DP and Centaur. These heroes carry a lot of weight during like the mid game between Stampede and the Death Prophet ulti. So I feel like if he wants to go Battle Fury BKB, it wouldn't be like completely crazy to me to do that. It also has a lot to do with how much faith he has in his Oracle.
Oh, up top again, 19. Big damage. Rocket Barrage. Centaur trying to do Centaur things with the Nature's Grasp. Actually making it difficult. Yeah, you might be right about the Battle Fury. They've got some pretty good space creators. I've definitely seen games where it doesn't seem like it's going to be a good fit, but Troll still gets it at a good time, and he just farms so fast. It almost feels like it doesn't matter that he took a little 2-minute pit stop for a farming tool. Well,
the other thing that you have to consider when you're entertaining the idea of Battle Fury is that are you going to be the strongest hero in the game if you have like 5 or 6 items? If the answer is yes, then getting a farm accelerant makes sense. Top lane again, they're going to go on 19 here.
Is the gyro going to live this time? Certainly looks like it. It's actually Sam that gets pressured back. Nature's Grasp yet again. Saving the gyro. And meanwhile...
mid lane too, they're going to lose the Lina. Nice little TP there from the Oracle, helping to set up the kill. But yeah, that's the tricky part for a lot of core players. Is it's hard for them to discern when it's okay to be greedy and when it's not okay. Because there might be some games where you're going to be the strongest hero on the map, but you're also required to fight. I just don't think Lil's going to be required for at least a little while. So that kind of gives him some cushion. I mean, he might still go for some early game build, but we'll see.
Top again, Sam as well as the Rubik being repelled. Fused raindrops helping out. Sam finds the kill. He chops the tree with a double edge. Centaur gone, Lumberjack
Bottom
for
lane.
a day. Now Lil Pleb. He's low, but Oracle's
God.
here. Okay. Oracle
He
not
even
going to
had
save
sick-
you from that, buddy.
Okay, so you know what's a really telling thing when you watch someone die like that? He immediately swapped his inventory around, which makes me think his stick was on the wrong hotkey.
Ah, classic.
It could have been that, because he instantly swapped his items when he died.
Yeah.
Like, his whole inventory moved around, so I don't know. It's just always funny to me when you see stuff like that. Sam gonna be dying here top.
Again, this is a really nasty combo. Honestly, kill threats on both sides, but the slow of the brambles into the gyro damage. I keep calling them brambles, but the Nature's Grasp. I always forget that this spell does more damage when the vines touch a tree.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get that bonus damage, though.
And it's like, you look at the numbers, it's like, man, I feel like that spell does a lot of damage. And you're like, yes, it does do a lot of damage, actually. 50% more than you think it does.
It does more than Ion Shell, actually, a little, too, which is crazy. It's a lot of DPS.
Damn. Because of how massive the slow is, that is pretty insane.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of leaning towards Unique's lanes. Like, I'm not really sure what even can walk up against, Gyro Tree. It's a really spooky lane.
Take a moment to give a shout out to Leech Seed. It's the shell of its former self. Is there a worse spell at level... Like, this thing at level 1 feels so useless for the mana cost to me. I don't know if you're a tree player, but...
I don't really play a whole lot of tree, but yeah, I think level 2 is like the power spike for that spell.
Like, there were so many days where Leech Seed was this awesome level 1 spell. We'll see Puber down bottom, maybe in some trouble, although BZZ taking a lot of counter damage.
He's dead. Oh, nice stick.
That was pretty darn close. Has some armor from the tree. Is Lil Pleb going to chase this down? This is scary. Now 19 rotates. Call down deployed. Mastermind also comes in. Patrol Warlord will be okay thanks to the edict.
No, the Wild Wing just murdered him. The call down hit the Wild Wing Ripper, and Puber had to go forward to give magic immunity to the troll, so he died for it.
Now Mastermind, they'll finish him off. That's a double damage on Lornoff, so a nice easy kill for the Lina. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big kill right there. He wastes the Exorcism. They don't get a kill. They now have split up on BZZ with a double damager, and there should just be a tower. They're protecting the cart, armor on the gyro. Really nice little push here from Unique.
Yep. Well done. Got to keep those siege creeps alive. They make a big difference.
Yeah, I will literally feed for a siege creep if I think it's gonna like deal a good amount of damage to the tower.
And Tree getting some solo XP up top as he defends the tower against Sam. I guess we're giving shoutouts to Shell of its former self. Living Armor's heal. Definitely, it's plus 60 at level 1. And not a lot. The armor's nice, but I miss the old days, the Living Armor.
Living Armor is better in some regards, though. Like, if you imagine Troll, you get the whole duration of the Living Armor now instead of just a set amount of instances when you're dealing with these heroes that hit super fast like Troll.
It's better for
actually
fighting.
Better.
It feels worse for actually defending towers, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on if the tower... Okay, there's a lot of different situations.
It's true.
Illusion's gonna drop here, but...
I guess it's like the armor might be better at mitigating damage in some situations, but the regen specifically feels gimped compared to where it used to be. Like healing a tower up to full, my God, dude, it's dedication.
It takes a minute for sure.
Ooh, nice rune snipe there from the Oracle. Where are we going? Gets himself the bounty rune. Oh, zoom, buddy.
Yeah, there's let's see, level 6 coming out after the tome usage here on the Phoenix. So Unique basically have all the tools that they need at their disposal, like right now. Exorcism is down for a little bit. They're still probably waiting on Sam to get to his Blink Dagger since he went Hood first. So Cyberium looking to maybe slow play it a little bit longer before they really start to feel their lineup come into its own. But Unique can just fight whenever they want. It's just up to positioning and where they want to be on the map.
Troll does have a Battle Fury queued up.
Okay.
So it looks like that's the route he wants to go. Bottom lane. Rubik will TP out. Not even close.
Yeah, I think Battle Fury is something that is punishable, but it does put pressure on Unique.
Yeah.
Because if this hero is allowed to just farm with a Battle Fury for like even 8 to 10 minutes, and he doesn't get hard punished for it, he will very quickly become a terror.
Big push up top though. 4 heroes from Cyberium. Mastermind will go ahead and use that Exorcism. They've got False Promise available now. Stampede. Van Score just kind of watching the show. He's got a front row seat. And meanwhile, mid, they'll find a kill onto Rubik. Stampede not going to be enough. And they do catch the tree. Looks like he did drop an Overgrowth. And meanwhile, the mid tier 1 does stand as the Phoenix Egg comes out.
Yeah, the egg killed the Rubik actually, so.
I see.
They get a 1-for-1 kill trade, but they don't get the mid tower. They actually
Why did Van Score go in up top? Did they catch him? I didn't see the
Yeah, I
exact
think
initiation.
he walked forward to delay the push, and then I think Lil got like a first hit entangle or root or whatever from the Berserker's Rage, and that kind of just killed him. Otherwise, you just walk back into the tree line, and it's really hard for Cyberium to chase you. It was a bit of being unlucky, I would say, because it's a pretty low chance to get first hit rooted.
Yes, and it's also only level 3, so even a 2% lower chance.
Yeah, he just wanted to keep the tower alive as long as he could. That is kind of his job in this game.
Cyberium get the win that time, but Unique not done yet. Still pressuring this tier 1 mid, maybe trying to take advantage of the lack of Exorcism. Ooh, excuse me. It appears like Unique want to stay aggressive, just the way they're positioned on the map.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Their heroes are mid-game players. That's what they want. They want to win in the mid-game. A little pause here. Looks like Puber has DC'd.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that name. If it's Pubber, Puber.
I have no clue.
I'm curious what the intention...
I think it's more entertaining to just use different variants of it every time, so people watching get really confused at what's happening.
I think if you wanted Pubber, it would be 2 Bs, which makes me think it's some sort of a... Puber sounds wrong, but at the same time, that is how it would read to me if I were just, reading an ebook, let's say. And then Puber came to the mid lane.
It's a fair assessment. I'm just going to call him the Oracle player.
The Oracle. I've already been doing that for Rubik, and I feel a little bad referring to both of their supports just as their in-game hero. Because Rubik is his handle Smart Grip, or is it the Chinese characters? I honestly have no clue. Let's see if Wikipedia can help. Oh, it looks like the Rubik's name might be Bika, B1KA. Bika, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I have to open the Wikipedia page or whatever. This is why we can't have nice things, because everyone has weird nicknames that they should just use their actual player tag, I
mean, it's bad enough we've all got nicknames in esports already. Now we've got these double nicknames, and it's hard to keep up. Now the Rubik, he's coming mid. Looks like Cyberium will mount a successful defense here in the mid.
They really like this drums Rubik, huh? He's done this every game I've watched him play Rubik. He buys drums.
Yeah, I can still hear the last game. Why does this Rubik have drums?
I mean, in that game, it was particularly not good. Like, I can kind of see it in this game because, you want to accelerate your Centaur and stuff forward. Oracle going to dispel himself and just walk away from, 8 heroes. Nothing to see here.
Hey, homing missiles flying across the way.
Shovels up a bounty rune.
Ooh.
That's always such a nice feeling.
I think the trusty shovel is still my favorite neutral item.
It's broken.
There's some dope tier 5 items. There's some real, Illusionist Cape is really fun. Won a game last night baiting out a Chrono with that thing. But, God, the trusty shovel. Why does it have 100 HP, Draskell? It doesn't need it. It'd still be awesome without that. The fact that it has the 100 HP to me feels like just a free bonus.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you have it a good uptime on it, it's probably the best like item for the tier in the game.
My favorite is when you summon a Cobalt and kill him, and then he drops another neutral item for you.
That's only happened to me like twice, but it is cool when it happens. Mid lane.
Huber, oh, nice Edict. Does have the ulti. That'll give him a reset, as will the Stampede. Cyberium in kind of an awkward position now. They're holding this Exorcism. The Overgrowth comes out on top of the egg. This is part of that combo we were talking about. Secures the kill onto Sam, and now Mastermind in big trouble. Easy set of kills on 2 cores of Cyberium. That wasn't even really a fight. That was just Unique walking at him, dropping their combo, and then walking away with some swag points. They also get the tier 1 tower.
I would say they have overwhelming teamfight presence on Unique. It is extremely hard to fight into Split, Egg, and Overgrowth together. Like, that's not even accounting for cooldown. And the funny part about that whole engagement is that when it started, the Fate's Edict stopped all the damage from Laguna Blade, and he was able to get himself out of the front very, very easily.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. Did you see who he casted False Promise on there?
He used it on himself, I thought.
I thought he just used Edict and walked away. Maybe I didn't see it correctly. That's entirely possible.
I'm pretty sure he Edict and then False Promised himself. I think he just went
that would make
safe
sense
mode.
Because I was so confused why it was on cooldown, and maybe I just didn't see it because I saw the DP die and I was like, why was there no Oracle? And then I saw it was on cooldown and I was like, oh, something happened.
Yeah, it was in my head. I was like, it's never good when Oracle has to do that. It's one of those like, yes, you lived, but that doesn't feel good. They will smoke up and go in onto the Phoenix. They'll stop the Icarus dive, and this should translate into an easy kill.
That burst.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the one downside to Unique, though, is that when your ultimates are down, you are very susceptible to just getting like counter push like this. The Mastermind, you're just going to pop the Exorcism.
Try to finish this off, but Unique will defend. False Promise is back. Not an easy defense to make. Yeah, maybe the Lina is the linchpin to this whole thing, but she gets pulled into the middle of the fray. Big follow-up damage. Gets off a Laguna, but it's into the False Promise. Now BZZ in some trouble as he gets brought down by Sam. A double secured for the Centaur.
That's the Lina problem. You get hit by one spell and you're just dead to rights. That's why this hero is so hard to play mid. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's pretty good this game for the burst factor and for the like the wave clear and such too. But
that was still like weirdly ambitious though. You know he
did walk very far forward.
They're full even just as a team fight. Like Exorcism's deployed. Phoenix can't really get there because he just died. Like that would have been a tall order for Income or Unique to defend that tower and like actually take a fight there. That looked really hard, and I'm not surprised they didn't win it.
They were probably just trying to stall a little bit. Bruise Split was coming up soonish, I think within like 15, 20 seconds or so when that fight kind of kicked off. But the amount of damage that both teams can output with their ultimates is very high. So thinking that you're going to be able to do a move like that without losing at least a hero or two is definitely what you said. It's ambitious. But they are going to smoke.
All right.
On Unique, they're going to be making their way towards the Phoenix. All spells pretty much are going to be up. Call down is coming up soon, and 20 seconds on the Overgrowth.
And also some cool items on Unique. The Lina did go first item, Boots of Travel, now with Yules. We got the Midas on Brewmaster, and 19 going the opposite route. He just wants Drum BKB. He is straight up fighting Gyro. No farm, no greed. They'll find Mastermind. Silence on 2. That might buy him a couple of seconds. Lina with some follow-up. LSA will not connect. Another Yule's Scepter, but Laguna's there. And Mastermind's done.
That's a pretty bad death, to be honest. Like, if you look at where his team was positioned on the map and how they had more or less no information anywhere, at the very least, there should have been a support behind him, or he should just not be there. Like, that's one of those deaths where in a pub you could be like, yeah, okay, whatever, but in a professional game like that, you can't die like that as a mid hero. You have to either be with your team or you need to like communicate, hey, I'm going to sit here. Can I have like an Oracle behind me just in case, right? Because the Oracle can buy you time. And one hero actually even tried to TP, but they had to cancel it because they knew it would just be death, right? Mm-hmm. You can't just TP into 5 heroes. So it's kind of on Mastermind there.
I see. Ooh, Roshan. Is that what we're eyeing up here, boys? Cyberium. By the way, the word Cyberium is really growing on me. I don't know if that's just a made-up word or like cyber, Irium, Cyberium.
It just sounds like a really fancy word to me when I think of it. It's just like a net cafe.
Yeah,
you know?
it sounds.
That's
like,
what I think when I hear the word.
It sounds like an American drug or something that. Cyberium, like Nexium.
Roche fight.
Oh, here we go, outside of the pit. They're going to jump in. Roche low, does go down to the Radiant, picked up by Lil Pleb on the Troll. Gets off the Battle Trance. That might keep him alive for a few seconds, but the Phoenix Egg gets off a good reset. Lil Pleb, uh-oh, he's sustaining. He's more than sustaining. Huber and BZZ both go down. Lil Pleb's back. That's the Aegis. I actually thought he might be able to live for a moment there, but can they get more? Now they've got the stand-in Lina here. Lornoff, he'll be able to make it out. The BOT is very speedy. Lina's
honestly, Unique should have lost way more for that. They are so lucky they got away with just one hero dying.
Yeah, they traded 1-for-1 and got the Aegis. Honestly, that felt like a win for Unique, all things considered.
Yeah, I saw like the Gyro walked away with like a sliver of health. You know, they couldn't chase down the Lina. That was, I mean, obviously giving the Roche to Cyberium in the first place is not something that Unique wants to do when they have this really crazy teamfight presence, but they noticed it late, and they still managed to get away from it not feeling too bad about the overall game. So
I mean, Troll's kind of Ursa-esque in that regard. You should definitely expect it once he's got an item.
Yeah, for sure. They are going for... Okay, this is really weird. The two heroes just left.
All right, the Troll's coming back, though. 3 heroes are gone. This is just BZZ and Vanscore. And Cyberium had the same response. They're like, wait, it's just him? We rotated 5 heroes.
That was really awkward, what they just did. They even got spotted by an Obs Ward for a split second there in the river. I think it just barely saw them. But they were moving as 5. You know, they had the Lina bottom, and they were, like, collapsing towards where the Lina was. And then Illusion and 19 just both immediately started walking top when they were in the river, and then the other 2 just didn't get the memo. Like, that is really strange to see that kind of movement.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
You would expect that in a pub game, but that is, you got to be like, yo, we're going top, don't go mid, you'll die.
Well, right. I mean, the key difference is that generally in these pro games, there is a shot caller, right? You have a designated person that is saying, guys, we are going, and we are backing, and ride or die, right? Whether it's the right call or the bad call, you're in it together. In a pub game, well, you could spend the whole game arguing about who gets to be the shot caller at any given time. And
they're gonna find Vanscore, but
yeah, they find a tree in the trees. They'll need a little more detection though, and they've got a dust. Tree walking, pretty darn annoying.
I will say though, as far as the vision game goes, Unique are just crushing it. Like, their wards are fantastic. Right now, Cyberium, really their only vision is in the Roche. So they knew what their goal was, so they put vision around it. But as far as who sees more of the map and has like more useful vision, I would say Unique are probably a leg up at the moment. Which again just makes it so weird why they made that play mid. That is just awkward. All right. Anyway, what is next for Lil? Is he going BKB? Yeah, okay. He's just going it straight after the Yasha. Makes sense. I mean, wouldn't be surprised to see him go something like Abyssal MKB, or maybe finish the SNY and get Abyssal.
This game is still crazy tight, though, Draskell. I mean,
it is, but it isn't. Like, the longer this goes on, where Unique aren't pressuring, the Troll will eventually become a hero that is going to require way too many resources to kill. Like, you're going to have to dump the kitchen sink on this guy at some point in order to kill Lil. And that is not... That's not an issue you want to have as a team that solely functions around their ultimates, right? Because when your ultimates are down on Unique, you are a lot less powerful.
Yeah,
because pretty much all of your scary abilities are your ults.
Definitely. It's gotten to a state now where the Troll is very happy that he's gone for this Battle Fury. They've slowed things down. He's actually able to get some presence on the map and farm. And he's accelerating. He is really outpacing this Gyro. 19 is farming okay, but like even the Aghanim's is a little bit of a farming tool relative to the BKB first item, which is still at its 10-second charge, mind you. As Unique
another smoke. They do have some vision and bot, but they're looking to pick off the top heroes, I'm guessing, before they can get to the team. Yep, just going to sit on the hill.
Good time to kill the Troll if they can. There's the Bruce split. They set up the LSA, but he gets the Oracle ult right away. BKB from Lornoff just trying to live. Sam in the back line. He'll be repelled rather. Lil Pleb, now he's in big trouble. Stunned up, brought down low. There's his BKB, but they've gotten Overgrowth. 2 down on the Radiant. This is definitely Unique's fight, and now they want more. Rubik on the run. Mastermind still in the middle of the fight. Obviously has Exorcism on. Big damage onto Lena. Another Yules. Resets for her. Sam comes in to finish off the kill, but now Cyberium in trouble. A 1 for 3 so far. DP trying to make the big turnarounds. Gets a double. Rubik in the back as well, slowing down Van's score. Cyberium doing way better than I thought they would, and they might make this a 3 for 3.
The stolen laser. You gotta love that.
Laser on laser. Oh,
And he gets
BZZ.
slapped.
All right, a 4 for 3. So technically Unique do take the fight, but by a sliver of a margin.
Yeah, that fight was so close, I wouldn't even say there was really a winner. I mean, both safe laners died. Actually, if there was a winner,
It was Mastermind.
in terms of who lived, it would probably be Cyberium, because Mastermind lived through the whole engagement. You know, he's level 18 now. He's got his level 3 ulti. A couple of things about that fight to start. Lil had zero faith in his Oracle there, because he insta-ulted. Like, he didn't even wait to take damage. He got False Promise cast on him, and then he ulted straight away. His BKB came to him on the Courier, and, you know, nicely done by Unique. They timed their stuns very well, so he wasn't able to get it off when he hit the ground after the Panda threw him up. But you can't just insta-ult if you have an Oracle. Like, the whole point is that you can stagger the abilities in such a way where you just live twice as long as you would normally live. Now, think about how that fight goes if Lil is alive for, like, another 6.5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
That's a really long time to not still just be dead. And plus, like, he went on a hero that had BKB, and Ensnare does not go through BKB, and since he has no Basher, he more or less, like, wasted his Battle Trance. So I feel like if he had been a tiny bit more patient or put more faith into the Oracle there, that they would have won that fight a lot more handedly.
Yeah. It's a 8-second False Promise duration and 6.5-second Battle Trance duration. And
Yeah.
I think they were, like, completely overlapped, as you said. So not ideal. But still pretty good for Cyberium, all things considered. Van's score also has a Meteor Hammer. We saw it used in that fight, but those meteors were coming from the Treant. And, oh, okay, they dust him up, Van's score. I was playing a little ring around the rosy. Trying to stay in the tree line, gets into the corner. TP
Oh, I
out.
missed. Oh, my goodness.
Okay,
That was a nice try, though.
well done.
Yeah, I thought the Fate's Edict route was going to hit the tree there, but
Do you-
not quite enough on the AoE.
Yeah. Do you think this Gyro can get to a point where he will be a real contender in terms of carrying versus the Troll? Like, we're still in this window where the gap isn't that big, but I'm getting nervous for 19 here. Maybe we'll hold that thought as in the mid lane, Sam goes in. Lornoff now on the run. Lil Pleb, he's actually going to pop the ult, so he's going to get pulled pretty far into his own jungle. BKB's done, but Unique are still in full retreat. They're not going to look for a counterplay.
It's the second time he's done that. I'm not really sure why he's ulting this way. Like, it is one way to use Battle Trance to get as much damage out as you can very quickly to try to get an important kill, but he knows that Larinov has BKB, because it happened to him last fight. Literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's a little
It's a
weird.
bit odd. And they're going to re-smoke here. They know Troll ulti's down, no BKB. They just want to go.
It's smart. It's a good read. 19 in the front line, though. Can they find something? Huber, he's the one that's going to get caught. Or is it BZZ? He's got the split, but getting brought down low. Now stunned. Silenced. BZZ's done. Botches that initiation. Illusion as well. Silence will allow him, or not allow him to egg. And Van's score will get a ward before he dies. But that's a 3-0 against the aggressors. Unique smoked into them.
Yeah, the issue was, before the fight started, there was an OBS and a Sentry, where the Dire Sentry is on the Radiant High Ground mid, if you know where I'm talking about. There was an OBS there that saw the smoke break. So Cyberium had a couple of seconds to react and get to a better defensive position where they were sitting on the high ground, and they walked into, like, a multiple-man hoof stomp and silence. And that kind of just, as soon as your brew dies without getting ult off, that's like full panic mode. You just have to leave.
Same with
at
the
that point,
Phoenix.
'cause-
I mean, that was a god-tier
Yeah.
silence. It hit the two key heroes that wanted to start the fight with their ultis, and that also
but
have no way to get rid of it.
It's about where they engaged on the map, their lack of vision, and the fact that they were basically walking into a choke point when they were seen. Like, they assumed that they weren't being seen because they were smoked, but as soon as the smoke broke, they instantly had vision on Cyberium because of the OBS.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're advantaged because you know that things are on cooldown, but there's a okay, one of my friends has a saying, and he says, the hill is your sixth man. As in, if you are on top of the hill, you are at the advantage. And that's basically what happened there for Cyberium.
Yeah, vision, mischance, all of it. All right, another rotation here. Unique, unrelenting in their pressure. They're going to come around the backside. This time they get the primal split. They want the false promise. Oracle has to use it on himself as the egg comes out. Unique backstab almost too well. They are only going to get the back line, it seems.
They have a centaur right now.
Okay, the rest of Cyberium, though, nearby. They're going to try to reset. Sam jumps in. Call down flies. They've lost Lena. They've lost Vanscore. Lil Pleb was ready to handle that. Now 19 will BKB TP to success. But another botched fight for Unique. They're the aggressors, and again, they don't get the favorable trade.
Yeah, this is really, really not good for Unique. They can't keep giving away these fights. This fight also has much bigger implications, obviously, because of Roshan. But this is like, you can't do that again. Like, if you do that one more time, I think the game is just simply out of reach for you.
Yeah.
Because now, like, Lil's going to have Aegis, he's going to get to his Basher, and once the Basher is out on Troll, that's the stage in the game where he starts to be able to just sit on anyone he wants, BKB or not, and he won't care. And in regards to your earlier question about who's going to carry, like if the Gyro can really contest a Troll, it's a lot about your itemization and your timings. So if you look at 19's inventory, he has no real way to mitigate damage. He just has a lot of raw health and a BKB, right? Troll doesn't care about either of those things once the Basher is out. He's just going to keep hitting you, and his damage output is going to be much, much higher than yours.
Yeah.
So the only way you really outcarry a hero like Troll is Gyro is by having an item advantage, having like evasion like a Butterfly, or you know, Satanic to be able to sustain at least through the battle trance so your team can kill him once it's over. But if you don't have any of those things in your inventory, you obviously can't just sit there. I mean, he's got them both queued up, but that's a huge chunk of gold that he's waiting for before he's going to be able to really be that guy.
Now they've got one key item though against the Troll, and it's in the inventory of that Phoenix. They have a Heaven's
Halberd. Have a Halberd.
That's like the one thing that makes me feel like Unique maybe kind of sort of have a chance here, but yes.
It has to be used at a very good time though.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part. If you use it too late, the guy is already dead. But you have to use it like before BKB, but during battle trance, like it's tricky.
It's a small window. Yeah. It's a big ask.
Hopefully Illusion is on his A game with his Halberd usage here, because he will need to be.
Yep. All right, some pushing continues. TP's back. Looks like a defense will be mounted, at least for now, as Cyberium group up. And they will actually TP back the Troll. So it looks like they'll look for a kill onto 19. TP home. Lady Luck.
No bash.
Is with the Gyro. And now back down bottom. They find a catch. It's a fake back. They TP the Troll. And now as the Lena comes out, they'll find her, and BZZ also fixing to get put under. Does get off the primal split. Now they'll try to turn on to Sam. 19's here. The turnaround play. Sam in some trouble. Phoenix heal. Or Phoenix damage, rather. Enough to burn him down. And now they've got another. It's going to be Rubik stuck in the trees. Bika also going to take a tumble. So Unique ended up overpowering them, but that was a cool play from Cyberium. I like what they did by TPing the Troll back, but still setting that trap.
I mean, it would have worked out a lot better if he actually got a bash on the Gyro. Yeah. That would have just been like a free core kill. There's no way he lives like in that situation if he gets bashed. Okay, going in here.
Non-stop aggression. Lil Pleb charging forward. There's the disarm. Does not have an ulti right now, but has Aegis. Gets the false promise. They're trying to finish off this egg, and they won't get it. Beautiful overgrowth. Now the turnaround's going to come. Lil Pleb loses the Aegis. Mastermind BKB on, sustaining for now as he presses forward. Troll coming back to life, and he will continue to press forward. Illusion. Oh!
Not the best pause timing, but I think we kind of already know how this fight's going to go. Also, do you find it strange that Phoenix rushes Veil in a game where there's like AoE silence when he's died to the silence like multiple times?
You'd think that he would want something to ensure he gets the egg off. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Like I was just looking at like Halberd's obviously great because you know it's an item to stop the Troll from dealing damage, and he is going to lose his life here to the Exorcism.
Veil feels a bit Veil to me screams like, yeah, we're going to slaughter this lane. No worries. You know, it's very like we're going to do big damage. We're going to put him in the ground. I can get the logic kind of, hey, maybe we want extra magic damage so that we have an option to kill the troll while he's still killable. But I don't know that that's really worked out in practice.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the idea behind it, but when your hero is largely picked for one purpose, and then you don't itemize to ensure that you can achieve that goal, it's just always a bit strange. I mean, obviously there are times to do it when you like absolutely have to, but I didn't feel like Unique benefited that much from just having the Veil in fights because their team fight presence in the early game was already so good. Like just having the control and the AoE damage output was more than enough. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's almost a redundancy to buy this item because you already do that thing so well that maybe just ensuring that you can egg is like a more stable choice for the game. But I mean, it's obviously easy to say from a spectator's point of view because we've seen him die under silence a few times.
Yeah.
But you kind of look at it and you're like, man, what if he had egg? Or what if he could egg, I guess is a better way to say it.
You kind of know that. So think about the game from the DP's perspective. Who is she trying to target with the silence every fight? Okay, maybe Brewmaster is higher priority than you as Phoenix, but you're like 1 and 2 right there. She is happy to cripple either of you if you're overextended.
Yeah.
And so I agree with sort of what you're saying. Like you should probably expect that as a Phoenix. But quick reminder, boys and girls watching the game around the world, the latest odds on all of the Dota 2 Omega League matches and more are available on EGB.com. You can check out what odds are offered by the esports betting website, EGB.com. Moreover, the partner of this event invites you to participate in their excellent referral program and get half of EGB's profit. I don't know exactly what that means, but you can find out by clicking the button below the Twitch stream. There's a panel down there with all the information. Look for the big letters, EGB.
Do you think they would let me place a bet 34 minutes into a game?
Well, I think they've got the rolling series odds, so maybe. I think you could bet on the whole series. Game 1, looking a little bleak, but hey, it's not done yet. They don't have barracks yet. Win rate, yeah, we're getting down. It's like 80-20 right now in favor of Cyberium, and I'd say that feels pretty darn fair.
Yeah, this smoke up here from Cyberium. I'm just looking for some kills. They do see the gyro just kind of being across the map right now from his team. He's trying to create some space. His TP's still down for 5 seconds. This is troubling. He's going to have to... Oh, he's just dead. Never mind.
Yeah, they're going to find him this time. No BKB going to save you from this, 19. All right, that's a nice pick-off. Cyberium, 1 step closer. Hey, Dreskel, can I ask you about an item that I think I already know the answer to? This voodoo mask. Have you ever bought a casual voodoo mask the way you see casual morbid mask purchased? Okay, I'll give you a second to think about it. I think a fight's going to break out here. They find Lornoff.
Yeah. There's the Abyssal.
Okay, that's just a dead Lena. Damn those bashes.
Yeah. This troll is just way too strong.
Yeah.
Like, they can control him for a very long period of time. The issue that they're actually going to run into is a damage problem. Like... They're going to find Vanscore here in the woods.
Unique are just rumbling at this point. Yeah. Ripped apart one at a time.
So with many mid-game lineups that don't have a carry like a troll, some guy that's going to accelerate himself and become a very, very powerful hero on the map, like it's no TB, there's no like Void or anything like that, you will eventually run into this problem where you just simply do not have enough damage, even when your abilities are up. Yeah. And that's why, like, that's the biggest weakness of these types of lineups that Unique are running.
And Tier 3 falls. Cyberium about to grab a lane of barracks. No buybacks being used. Lena doesn't have it, in fact, as they catch BZZ again. Had split, can't use it, dead 65.
Yeah. This game is more or less over, honestly. Like, they're just going through the motions right now, trying to defend base, maybe talking about what went wrong. But I don't see how you defend this.
I'm with you there. Maybe one final Hail Mary. They'll jump in on the 19. Stampede used. It's a good overgrowth for what it's worth. A very nice Phoenix Egg as well. Okay. They will get the Oracle. Cyberium have a cheese, so the DP gets a reset. Buyback on Oracle. He'll try to run back into the fight. Vanscore getting repelled. Illusion now out of resources. Unique throwing everything they've got at this, and they actually hold the barracks.
Yeah, that was a really nice combo of spells. Like, Vanscore has gotten caught a few times, but his overgrowths have been on point. Like,
Yeah.
every time the troll BKBs, he's immediately there with an overgrowth. I don't think he's ever mistimed it like the entire game. So he's very understanding of what his role is in the game and how to control the scariest hero right now in Cyberium, which is obviously Lil on the troll. So yeah, nice stuff. I didn't think they would be able to hold that, but some very nice spell usage there from Unique.
Some non-stop aggression, though, from Cyberium. They'll go in again, and they catch the gyrocopter. Now stuck on the sideline without a buyback. Phoenix will go ahead and use his BZZ splits for good measure, but the pandas...
No, the pandas!
Oh, the pandas!
That's not okay. You can't just kill a brute in his ult.
They're
That's BM.
endangered, Draskell. Oh.
Yeah, it's...
That's how you know the game is falling apart. When Panda ults and they're like, why don't we just kill him?
Yeah, just kill the pandas, honestly.
Doesn't matter. That was a weakness of the hero a long time ago. I know they buffed the armor on the pandas, but they were notoriously low armor, and if you got an AC by 30 minutes, they would just flop over. It's not as bad as it used to be, but convincing stuff here for Cyberium in game number 1. I guess Cyberium Seed. Been leaving out the S. Convincing stuff, 29-17, a great execution around the Troll Warlord, another Phoenix or